Hello and welcome. I'm Margaret Ann, and tonight we're going to talk a little bit about crystal grids, chakra alignments, and amulets, which is a variety of ways of saying the different ways you can work with gemstones in your life every day in so many ways. So, a crystal grid is a compilation of gemstones, as you can see here on the screen, arranged in geometric pattern around a person, a place, or a thing to amplify an intention. So, the most important phrase here that I would like to emphasize here is to amplify an intention. Gemstones are wonderful. Yes, they're sparkling, they're fabulous, they have inherent qualities because of the color and how they grow in the earth. But it's your intention that you make, that you have, that you hold the vision for that's associated with the gemstone that creates your reality. So you can design your own reality working with gemstones, but knowing that it's not that gemstone going abracadabra while I'm a zoo, it's you and your intentions on focusing on what you want to create in your reality. So this is a tool for focus, right? So know that clear quartz points are a really great way to direct energy. And I like working with clear quartz a lot. In fact, during our um, weekly show that happens right after this event, we'll be focusing on some clear quartz because I have it next to me. The clear quartz is great for transmitting and transducing energy, for sending and receiving vibrations, and amplifies your intention. So, like in this little photograph have here on the left with the rose quartz in the center and the clear quartz points all the way around it, that would be amplifying the vibration of love and well-being, kindness, and compassion, because that's what rose quartz is primarily good for, and so many other things actually. So, I want to tell you a little bit about working with grids in regard to sacred sites. So, some of you may or may not know, but over the many years I've been doing this work, I've been going and taking people to sacred sites, one of which is Chichen Itza, which are the pictures here, which is located in the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. And so back in about 1990, I had a vision. And it was at a process during a process where I was for the first time getting brave enough to practice voice channeling with my voice and saying things to another person. I would thought I was expressing what that person needed to hear, but what I was really doing was I was seeing in my mind's eye this site, didn't know about it, didn't know about it. And when I described it to the person I was with, she told me, that's Chichen Itza. That's in Mexico. I'm pretty sure it is. So I went and researched and looked, and it sure was. And what I had seen in my vision was that I was there with a group of people, and I had brought clear quartz crystals for everybody to work with. And we went to different areas of the site. And what we did was we activated the grids of light in the vision. And then I did it in real life. We did it, a group, twice, specifically at Chichen Itza, also at Uxmal, Zibel Chaltun. And then I continued to do work like this in Peru, in Machu Picchu, Ollantaytambo. Oh, so many locations. Also went and did the work in Stonehenge, and around the what do they call the ley lines, the meridians of the earth in the Mary Michael ley line, specifically in Europe, but also here in the States at like Mesa Verde. And so my point is that that the crystal grid work can be done on a much larger scale, with the intention of activating grids of light to amplify love, light, and well-being for all beings on this planet, all beings, including animals and plants, etc. And we could do that through visualization and intention if we're not traveling right now due to the global pandemic. I don't recommend going anywhere, but that's up to you. Anyway, so the point is you can work with sacred architecture in your visions, in your mind's eye, in your heart. And that is one way to work with it. And I write about those experiences in my first book, Chakra Awakening, my second book, The Essential Guide to Crystals, Minerals, and Stones, and a more recently, a bit more in the crystal Beyond Beginners, which is a lot of what this workshop is focused on. So, in that book, which I just mentioned, Crystals Beyond Beginners, Awaken Your Consciousness with Precious Gifts from the Earth, that's the subtitle. I do a very nice description of how to work with, and this is an excerpt from that book, um, to how to create a crystal grid for yourself. But you can also find it, just so you know, on my CD. So if you still have a CD player, this is not an MP3 at this moment. The Chakra Balancing Crystal Alignment CD that you see on the bottom left-hand corner of this PowerPoint presentation. So basically, you would determine which gemstones you want to use for each of the chakras. And there's so many choices, you really can't go wrong. But basically, you want red, black, or brown stones for the root chakra. You want to have orange or maybe even yellowy brown stones for the navel or sacral chakra. Yellow stones for the solar plexus, heart chakra, green and pink rocks. And then also at the throat chakra, like turquoise or pastel blue. Third eye stones would be like dark blue or even amethyst or purple stones. So like lapis lazuli or amethyst. Crown chakra, some clear quartz would be great. Apophyllite is great there. Selenite is great. And then in the hands, it's nice to place like selenite sticks, which you'll see during our Shop the Crystal Garden from Home show, the shopping show that we have right after this. Or you can use clear quartz points, like this kind of a point, which is nice to hold during the alignment. So basically, you can take each of the gemstones and place it on each one of your chakras with the intention for bringing balance and realignment. Now, I've done separate workshops on the chakra system. So if to do that right now to explain the chakra system would be take a little bit longer than this particular workshop calls for. But I do recommend, if you'd like, go to youtube.com/Margaret Ann Lembo, and you'll find so many of my replays of all the different workshops. There is one for chakras, or actually there's many for chakras. So that way you can learn a little bit more about the chakra system and how to work with gemstones for each of these individual chakras. Now, there are so many choices of different areas of life. Many people want more love and romance in their life. Maybe they want more love, friendship, or romance, okay? So what I've done is I've picked some of the stones for love and romance that I have in my book, Crystals Beyond Beginners, and in all my crystal books. And I've chosen blue lace agate, also known as blue chalcedony. And the reason for that is blue lace agate or pastel blue colored gemstones are beneficial when you are getting into a new relationship and even in existing relationships to improve your communication skills. Communication is a very key element when connecting with another individual, all kinds of relationships, even business associates. So, communication is key. There are many gemstones that work for that, but I just chose a few for this little conversation. Now, citrine is a great stone to have on hand to enhance your relationships because what I look at in regard to citrine is that it helps you stay connected with your personal truth and your personal power. It helps you with the ability to set boundaries with love and grace. So often we fall into a relationship wanting to make it work, and sometimes we give up some of ourselves, what our truth is, our personal, what we want, by giving up what we would normally do. You know, one of my examples might be, say, maybe you don't like motocrossing, but your significant other really likes motocrossing. So all of a sudden you're going to all these motocrossing events when you really don't want to, but you think you do because you made yourself like it for them. Now, there's nothing wrong with doing that sometimes, but not to give up that part of yourself if that's not what you really want. So this is about setting boundaries with ease and grace for all concerned. Okay, that's just one very small example. So now green aventurine. Now I put here some actual bracelets as a reminder that when you're creating an amulet bag, and these are stones that you can make a little bag of something, of this little combination, but you can also wear it. You can grid yourself with what you want to accomplish. So you could wear, let's say, a rose quartz pendant, some pink calcite earrings or pink opal earrings, a green aventurine bracelet, and maybe also combine it with some citrine and blue calcite. Maybe for the women in the group, you would put those in your bra, or for the men, maybe that's going into your pocket and that you carry around with you. So you can grid yourself. You can create and make yourself the amulet. You can also make it into a bag. So pink calcite is beneficial for keeping kindness and compassion and nice, soft, loving energy around you and your loved ones and friends. And rose quartz, always for love, always for compassion and kindness. And here's an affirmation for you. A favorite of mine. I am love. All that surrounds me and all that is attracted to me is love. I am love. All that surrounds me and all that is attracted to me is love. I attract love, joy, and happiness into my life. That's a good one. So, but then again, I like all affirmations, positive thought forms. So, another thing that people I've noticed, there are so many things that, well, actually, there's about 5 or 6 main areas of life, and one of them is sleep, being able to sleep soundly. So, here I've also thrown in my some of my blends. These are aromatherapy room sprays that you can spray on and around you and your space, or onto your bed in this case, but you can spray some over your bed, over your pillowcase before you sleep. Sweet Dreams has an orangey scent and sort of like a creamsicle, but has a vanilla vibe, which is very good and calms men and women and children alike. And Sleep Well is a combination of lavender and chamomile. But the gemstones that you can make a little bag of goodies and then maybe put it on your nightstand, or you can put it in a bowl on your nightstand with blue calcite, lepidolite, amethyst, but the list goes on. I mean, hematite is great, again, rose quartz, amethyst, as I'll say it again, amethyst is fabulous. I have a really big blue calcite flame. It kind of comes up and it looks like, it reminds me of a very large Carvel cone of ice cream. It's this big. So, but however you decide, you can also put gemstones that are for sound sleep in your pillowcase. And that way you're not losing them. You know, they're not flying out of the bed if you want them in your bed with you, instead of just on the nightstand. So these are just a few ideas. There's many more choices. You can read about it more in Crystals Beyond Beginners. And then you can also, let's say you don't have a lot of the gemstones, but maybe you picked up a copy of Crystal Intentions Oracle. And this is about your intentions. Now, protection and safety is a very big subject, a very high priority for a lot of people. A lot of the phone calls I get here at my store, the Crystal Garden, is, do you have sage? That's what they want to know. Do you have black tourmaline? Do you have shungite? Do you have black obsidian? So these, in this case, I chose from the deck, black obsidian and jet. So the black obsidian, the affirmation is, I pay attention, or the intention, I should say. The intention is, I pay attention to what is going on around me and within me. I am attentive. Now, actually, that was the affirmation, and the intentions are, release negative thoughts, maintain attention on the present moment, increase situational awareness. So that's being aware of what's going on around you. You're not You're not like this. You are aware. You have your peripheral vision on all levels, mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. You're present and you know and you feel what's going on behind you and all around you. And improve responsible thoughts and actions. So that would match up with black obsidian. Those same things can match up with black tourmaline as well. Now, jet is actually fossilized charcoal, and charcoal we know is great for cleansing. So the affirmation is, I am always divinely protected. I love that. I use that thought form a lot, especially if I get a little nervous about something. It's like, I'm always divinely protected. I know I am safe. And then the affirmation, this intention, which is on the other side of the card, is release anxiety, anger, jealousy, and frustration. Deflect negative energy. Practice meditation on a regular basis. Invoke divine protection. Invoke divine protection. Okay, I'm ready to have divine protection all around me. Bring it on. Improve ability to quiet the mind, which means meditative work. So, if you have a deck of cards, whether it's mine or someone else's crystal decks, because, like I have 6 different ones to choose from, you can also work with the cards to create grids or to bring a couple of cards with you for the day that you put on your desk at work. Or if you're working from home, it's a lot easier because you've got everything right there. So other gemstones for protection and safety, amethyst is fabulous for transforming and transmuting challenging situations. Red, brown, or honey calcite is also very good for staying grounded and in the present moment. Amber is great for protection and safety as well. The list goes on, and I have a little velvet pouch there as an example of to remember that you can make yourself a little amulet pouch with all these little goodies in it, or a charm bag is what I sometimes call it, so that you have what you need easily accessible. So, wow, that's a pile of rocks, right? What do you think? Is that a lot of rocks? So this is my original gemstone oracle, and this is the foundation of how I started creating all my various decks. Like, we had pulled a card prior to starting the show today, or this mini workshop, I should call it. And I think I perfect that I ended up pulling this particular card, and I'm going to bring it up again now because I love the synchronicity of things in life. So this is from my deck, the Animal Totems and the Gemstone Kingdom. If you saw how many decks and how many cards are on my table right now, it looks like a pretty messy table, right? But it's a fun table. Isn't it fun? Kate's in the room for me if you're wondering who I'm talking to. So, Animal Allies and the Gemstone Kingdom. And I pulled the parrot card, and I have a bird that looks just like that. Her name is Shanae Ann Lembo. And the bicolor tourmaline goes with this. So, the reason that I'm bringing this up is because I pulled this, and it's like perfect for this gemstone oracle pull. This is the thought form. This is the contemplative question. Are you drawn to specific colors? Do you benefit from crystal alignments? Yes, you can. Are you mimicking someone, or is someone copying you? That happens to the best of us. Embrace the colors of the rainbow in food choices, clothing, and all of life. Spend time in the sun. Crystal healing is a good way to balance your energy. Observe the benefits of what others are doing. Make your way of being and doing. So the parrot side of the card has the affirmations that matches with bicolor tourmaline. I enjoy working and playing with colors and crystals. Isn't this perfect for what we're doing? I love it. All types of gemstones help me rebalance my energy. I model the habits of successful people to improve my success. It's easy for me to speak up for myself. It's because the parrot knows how to speak up. I shine my light brightly and acknowledge my magnificence. I am brilliant, gorgeous, and fabulous. And so are you. You are gorgeous, brilliant, and fabulous. So if you wanted to read a little bit more about that particular card or that particular animal, I want to mention, of course, because I'm an author, so I must, my book, Animal Totems and the Gemstone Kingdom, are a nice option for you. This is a great book. It has 88 animals, beautiful photography in there, along with the photos of the animals and the gemstone. All right. So now that we've done that, thank you for attending. So we are actually done. So if you have any questions about this, you can type them in the comment section, and later on tonight or tomorrow, I will go ahead and respond. And we're going to be going directly from this little mini workshop right into Shop the Crystal Garden from Home on Facebook. So this you can find us on the Crystal Garden page. And I welcome you to join us because our online community has become so much fun. We laugh hard. We some people buy and buy a lot, and we're so grateful for them because that's what's kept us alive, the Crystal Garden alive, during this global pandemic. And I also teach further and deeper into the things that I mentioned here, right here during this event. So you can find replays of many classes, including this one, will be put up in the next day or two. Can be found on youtube.com/Margaret Ann Lembo. And that's right here on the screen. You can see it at the bottom of this little PowerPoint. Now, I'm just going to mention while we're getting ready to start the Shop the Crystal Garden from Home shopping show, uh, this grid, let's talk about this for a moment. So we have, this is my logo in the center that happens to have the chakras on her because we're doing chakra alignment, chakra balancing, and gridding. And here on the top of the screen, you can see Unakite. And Unakite is for bringing emotional balance and harmony and balancing your heart and your emotions. So that's also a heart chakra stone, but also a navel or sacral chakra stone. Say sacral chakra 5 times fast. Then next is rose quartz, and that's for amplifying love, happiness, and well-being. Then you see Chevron Amethyst, which would be great for helping you to see all the good things that you've done in your life and how you've transformed yourself to date, and that there's so much more transformation to come. The tiger's eye shown here is good for helping you deflect any negative energy. The next stone, I didn't create this grid. I'm going to say that it looks like jade to me. And so that would be good for good luck, prosperity, and abundance. The carnelian for creativity, which is the orange stone on the bottom to the left of the middle point. And then that looks like a phantom quartz, which has to do with looking within yourself to see and know yourself better. And then there's citrine, which is the yellowish stone on the far left side of the screen. And that's, as we talked about a little while ago, about being able to set boundaries, having self-confidence, and the courage to be all that you are and who you truly are. And then last but not least is rhodonite. And rhodonite is good if you go through a grieving process or for more self-love. It's very good for self-love. So that's just a little synopsis of what this grid can be for. So whatever you put your intention, that's how it's going to work. And so every time you see that grid or pass that grid on your table or in your desk or wherever you place it, it will remind you of all your intentions. I want to thank all of you that are attending here on Zoom and on Facebook. Thank you so much for being part of this and for letting me share a little bit about what I love. All right, everybody, have a wonderful night. Many blessings.